We're learning that the Democrats are having problems of their own. Last month, Republicans raised $6 million more than the Democrats, who had their worst fundraising numbers for the month of July since 2007. Now, some in Washington are beginning to take notice.
The DNC brand is a disaster. I mean, the party brand has been so wrecked over the last year. WikiLeaks has played into that. And what you hear when you talk to people on the Hill is that all the energy is outside of the party.
So this is an interesting point because you see the energy, as he said, outside the party with people who are anti-Trump. But is that enough to generate money? So some people shut me down, but I'm going to open it up to you in the generous spirit of my heart.
Go right ahead, return volley that's amazing. I'm saying to you that I want to know what your explanation is for it, that why do you think that they didn't get good numbers?
Oh, why the DNC didn't get good numbers? Well, I think that they've got new leadership. It's not clear that a lot of the Bernie Sanders people were angry, thought that the DNC had undercut. You got Debbie Wasserman Schultz out there. She has become a whipping girl for the Republicans. So there's lots of stuff there. It's interesting to note, though, that if you look at the Senate races and the House races and the House campaign committees, they're actually doing just as well as their Republican counterparts. It's the DNC, the Democratic National Committee.
Right, so maybe they're dissatisfied with, they don't feel that they did a good enough job in the past election, obviously. And also, look, didn't get the House, didn't get the Senate, didn't get the Oval.
Exactly. There were a line of Democratic donors who were demanding the day after election, where did the money we gave the DNC, the money we gave Hillary Clinton, and yet somehow we lost. And Donald Trump boasted about how he was spending far less money. Number one. Number two, I also think the grassroots of the Democratic Party may be far ahead of the party leadership, just like we saw on the Republican side, where Donald Trump shook it up and said, I'm not just sitting around waiting for the RNC. I'm not just sitting around waiting for Mitch McConnell and Paul Ryan. I'm going out there and I'm going to win this nomination. And frankly, the Democrats may wind up with someone who's not some Washington insider, and that might be good for them.
So, Dana, you wouldn't go, given what Ed just said, would you go to Hillary Clinton? Would you go to Barack Obama? Would you go to Bernie Sanders, Elizabeth Warren, to try to energize the Democratic National
Kamala Harris.
Well, two of those are irrelevant, and two are a total distraction. So I wouldn't go to any of those. And that's why they have the biggest problem, because ideas and message trumps money. Okay, so for the actually just using that as a verb, but the only thing is not only is the RNC outraising the DNC, but the National Republican Congressional Committee, the committee that's in charge of House races, they say their recruitment is excellent. So they're getting really good candidates that can win in those districts. And last week, the Cook Political Report took 5 of the Senate races from toss-up to lean GOP in the middle of all of this. So the Republican infighting is kind of ugly, but it's actually not affecting the results.
Greg?
Yeah, you know, the reason why the DNC are having a problem is that they've yet to come up to an alternative to someone that they think is evil. They've been spending 6 months calling Donald Trump evil, Hitler, Stalin, you name it, but they don't have an alternative. And the reason why they don't have an alternative is because when they look at Trump's deeds, which is unemployment is down, ISIS is on the run, they pulled out of the Paris Accords, North Korea went back in their hole. The regulations are reduced. Stock market is up. What do you have? All you have is an emotional hate. The DNC is no different than a celebrity on Twitter right now, which is just boiling over, writhing in their own anger, but they haven't come up with an alternative. You know what? I will go back to under President Obama. I wanted President Obama's liberal policies to fail, but the country to succeed. I didn't root against the country. I rooted against his policies because I wanted him to die. I wanted his policies to die an early death so they don't grow and get worse. But I wanted the country to succeed. In this case with the Dems, they want the whole thing to collapse. They want the Batman villain that is Donald Trump to take the whole ship down. They don't care. That's why they're not making any money, because people are looking at him and they're going like, so what do you got? All you got is this hate. Don't you have somebody likable? I mean, you put Hillary, this guy you claim is so evil, and you still can't find anybody for him. You're calling up Obama. You got Hillary wandering around, but you can't find anybody. You can't find anybody to match somebody you claim is evil. What is your problem? Because you're worse. You're so worse.
Are you okay?
I'm about to. Hey, it's like midnight. I'm ready to. This is going to my drinking time.
I cannot wait to turn into a pumpkin and
Sorry, did I go too far? I thought it was
great.
I got to say, I think that when you look at the DNC, though, it's that energy on the base side that could come back to bite them. I don't agree.
You know what Greg is doing?
What's he doing?
He's trying to stay awoke.
Yeah, nicely done.
It was a show that was, well, out of this world. If you weren't able to catch today's solar eclipse, don't worry. You